Remembered. I know you were quoted as saying a hero, so tell us why and how you want him remembered and why.
Because he served his country. He protected people. He was a protector. And because Mark's life as a military officer, he believed in what he did.
You want him to be remembered how?
As someone who he loved his job. He loved people. He was a protector. He was loyal. He was honest. He was giving. He was caring. He gave his life for his fellow man. Mark lived his life to protect, and his life was ended protecting.
Yes, I mean, he served in the United States Navy. His job was military police, is a high risk thing. And he did what he had to do to serve his country, and he did his job. I mean, he was not only 24, and that's my son. I'm very sad that he's gone, but he did what he wanted to do. He came out of high school straight into the service, and that's the field he chose to be a military police, and he served it proudly. Yes, he did.
Did he have a hope of going on to college?
Yes, he did.
Ever since Mark was around the age of 8 years old, Mark told me he wanted to be a police officer, a cop. And when they were young, we used to play cops and robbers. And Mark was the cop, of course. And Mark had it in him from a very small age. Mark had goals. Mark's favorite song was R. Kelly, I Believe I Could Fly. And that song rang today. Mark never let me down. Mark never let anyone down. Mark was giving. Mark honored people. Mark was an awesome son. I am proud of my son. Mark wasn't out there. This didn't happen on the streets, not in the club. Mark wasn't a thug. My son was doing his honorable duty in the Navy. Mark wrestled in high school. Mark was a member of the Boys and Girls Club here in Washington County, in which he got a Good Citizen Award. Mark was in Boy Scouts. Mark graduated in 2007 at Williamsport High School. This is his wrestling picture, his senior wrestling picture. Mark made, in his weight class, which was 112, he made first place in county. Mark was a gentleman. Mark was raised to treat people good and to work hard. Mark had a summer job at 14 and 15, and then Mark worked at the local McDonald's here by the Walmart. Mark was responsible. Mark paid his own car insurance. Mark paid his own cell phone bill. And I taught Mark, if you want these things, you can have them. And if you don't, you will not be able to get them. So we had an understanding, we had an agreement. Mark was my fourth child. He was my youngest child. And Mark was a good son. He was good to his mama. Mark and I had movie dates, just Mark and I, just our quality time. Mark was a provider. Mark never, ever let me down. If it was needed, Mark provided. If I can call Mark at any hour during the night to talk about anything, and Mark would listen to his mama, Mark would always tell me, "That's okay, Mama. I love you, Mama." Mark has a dog named DC, and Mark took care of that dog. And we're going to get that dog, and we're going to continue to take care of DC. DC is now part of our family. Mark took care of that dog, and Mark loved that dog. Mark was kind-hearted. Mark never judged anyone. No matter what you've done, Mark never judged anyone. Mark always gave people the benefit of the doubt. Mark was a member of Full Life Family Ministry. This is one of the earlier pictures of when we been a member of Full Life Family Ministries here in Hagerstown, 80 West Lee Street, here in Hagerstown. Pastor Paul Berry Sr. is our pastor. And Mark was awesome. Mark was responsible. Mark was responsible. Mark,
Do you believe he died a hero?
Yes, he
Mark
did. I mean,
did
he
die
in the
a
line
hero.
Of action.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he
Mark
did.
gave
He was
his life
in the line of action. He was
for
on
his
duty.
fellow man.
Yes.
Of course, we don't have all the details to that. I just wanted to make sure that people know my Mark. That people know that Mark is human. That people know
He fought for his country. He fought.
that Mark is good.
It's okay.
That people know he would have never done anything else to jeopardize himself or no one else. But he knew what he needed to do. And I believe, praise God, that he did it.
Sir, you were saying, just as we were listening to Sharon, that he's a hero in your mind. And
Yeah, I mean, because
if you could start again, because we
If
didn't
it-
necessarily hear you.
his job was the military police, and he was a suspect came on the premises, and he did his job. He had to do his job. I mean, how else can you say it? You are military police. You got a suspect that's not supposed to be on base, and you confront him. And I mean, my son passed in the line of fire. And why is he not doing his job? Why is he not a hero? He probably saved some people's lives on the ship or wherever, on that base. He did what he's supposed to do, you know. And the other military police did what they supposed to do. They took him out, you know.
His mom just said she has such a special relationship. They went to the movies. Did you have a?
My son. I just spent the whole week almost with my son last week. I just laid my mother to rest last week. And we spent the whole week together. He came down. He came up here for a couple of days, then we came down. We took pictures. We had a good time. We now, as far as movies,
No, yeah, but what was your relationship?
my relationship when Mark would come down, he'd come see me, or he'd come see his grandmother. He'll come see my niece. He'll let me know when he's in town. I mean,
And in town, or do you live in
I live
Hagerstown or DC?
well no, I don't live in Hagerstown. I was living in Blainsburg, Maryland. Now I live in Suitland. But he would come down. He would let me know that he's down, and we would meet up. You know what I'm saying? That's my son. I mean, he calls me up.
Could you tell us what's in your heart, what's in your mind right now?
What's in my mind right now? I can't tell you. Like I just said, I just put my mother to rest last week. Now I gotta put my son to rest. I don't know what's in my mind. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what's in my mind. It's just a lot to deal with right now. All right, it's a lot to deal with. And when I got the call about my son, I really broke down because that was unexpected. I mean, I wasn't expecting this at all. Was a total shock. Okay.
Mark was fun. Mark
Yes.
was fun. Mark was a family man.
Yes.
Mark loved his family too. Mark loved doing family stuff. Like just the ordinary, maybe getting together and putting some food on the grill and just getting together. Mark did not cherish material things. Mark has a Dodge Charger that, as his mother, he would allow me to drive it at any given time. He wasn't worried about those things. He just knew that I'm his mama. I'm his mama.
Another picture of him you could hold up that we could take. I could take a picture of you holding up one of his pictures, or even just a wrestling picture. Is that?
Yes.
Would you mind? Just want to
Yes.
get a picture of you holding that up for us.
And you need to tilt it this way, and if you can tilt it this way, tilt it.
Thank you guys, very, very much.
Tilt it down just a little bit so it doesn't glare.
Are you older brother?
Yes.
Yeah, I met Eric Michael.
Pleasure.
And this is the shirt that Mark had given me. And I wear this shirt, and I will continue to wear this shirt. Mark gave me this shirt this past July, and I will continue to wear this shirt. I will wear this shirt until whenever.
Can you tell us about your decision to move your family here from the DC area?
I wanted to provide a better environment for my children. And so we moved from the Washington, D.C. area to here in Hagerstown in 1998.
That was you and the 4 children?
Me and the 4 children, yes.
Could you just introduce us to this young man who's such a strong support for you right now?
This is Mark's brother, my oldest son, Timothy Borum Jr.
I know you're the strength of strength right now. You're the source of strength. What are your thoughts right now?
I was proud of my brother when he joined the service, and still am. And just trying to understand why and how this happened. It's just I'm still trying to grasp it. But I'm still proud of him. Man, I'm proud that he served the country. And I'm just trying to get a grip on it and understand how this happened. I always felt that he was safe on a military base. Always felt that he'd be protected. And it ain't making no sense. None of it. I'm just trying to grasp what happened, how and why. There's still so many unanswered questions, that I'm dealing with. And I'm just not satisfied right now until I find out what happened to my little brother. And we all just waiting, being patient until we find out. I just don't see how this could have happened on one of the largest Navy bases in America. It shouldn't have been that simple for something like this to happen like that. But hopefully it'll get to the bottom and find out what happened to my brother.
And it looks like you're sharing right now what's in your heart.
I miss my baby. I want my baby. I want him home.
It's okay, Mom.
I just want him here.
It's okay, Mama.
I just want him here. I just want him here.
Okay.
I think that's it right
If we can turn to just the good memories. When you said wrestling,
B-O-R-U-M. 5 years older.
So you're 29.
Yes.
So your name is?
No, Condi Mayo.
Mark will be buried at Arlington Plan on. We're not done with making the.
strength and support of your entire family.
Do you have any other family photos of Mark that's?
Well, hold on one second, man. You're strung up here. We want to make sure we don't switch.
So that was your release. Mark. full of friends. Had a slew of friends. I mean, it was a lot of friends.
He ran to help somebody.
Right. Yeah, so he's a hero. That's when I'm doing that front page and was it?
The Herald.
I just put it out. I put it in. He's a hero. Put it like that. That's right. That's what it is.
Any other person?
He did it.
You lived in Hagerstown?
I've been in Hagerstown since
So this
August
is
of
Williams